Okay. Hey, guys. Shop Talk Podcast, episode 33. Kyle is taking a shot of Pepto-Bismol to start the show off.
I'm getting chalked up.
If only we were sponsored by Pepno.
Yeah.
It would make this better.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
No, hey, maybe.
Not feeling good, Kyle? Not the best?
Man. I don't know, man. It's real weird. My stomach been going nonstop.
Don't have to get too detailed now.
Yeah.
Sure.
We get it. Feeling rough.
Yeah,
Too
we'll
bad.
just say I'm getting chalked up.
Yeah, get chalked up. Don't know where to bring it from that, but okay.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
That was what I didn't know how to go into that to say it was Memorial Day today, Monday.
Yep.
Thanks to everybody who sacrificed everything for us to do this silly podcast.
Yep.
So
God bless.
That's why we got the flag in the background.
yep.
Hell yeah.
USA. So, episode 33.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty excited about this one. This one's kind of out of our wheelhouse, kind of.
But at the same time, not really, because
kind of, but not really.
kind of, but not really. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So, the Indianapolis Indy 500 was yesterday. I watched it. I don't know if you guys did. Did you watch that highlight video I sent you?
Yeah.
I've been busy watching this motocross stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of our RM fantasy,
Yep.
it's a load of crap. It is a load of crap. I got like 3 of them exactly right. Perfect. And I'm second to last.
Holy shit.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll have to look at it
Yep.
here at the end of the show.
What, you think it's like actually glitched, or is
No.
or is everyone doing that
No,
good?
everybody's doing that good.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. That's kind of cool though. Super competitive.
So Indy 500. I was watching it. I thought it was super cool. I had the idea while I was watching it. I knew that ORyan Bosek, Polaris racer, races at the Sioux. He works for an IndyCar team. So I hit him up right after the race. I said, "Hey, would you be interested in calling in to talk about it?" He said, "Heck yeah." So we're gonna be calling him here in 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. So super excited about that.
Yeah, pretty damn cool.
Because I watched it, and I'm totally new to IndyCar, but I like F1.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the Monaco GP in Monaco this weekend. It was so boring. There was not like a single pass the whole race.
Oh, yeah.
You'd know. So that was super boring.
Yeah.
The Charlotte 600 NASCAR race was last night.
Mm-hmm.
It got rain delayed for like 2 hours, and they didn't call it until like 1 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
to where they didn't even continue racing. They were just like, "Yep,
We're done.
you're the winner.
You're the winner.
Super,
Worst way to win.
Super anticlimactic to do that. But Paula Motocross was this weekend, Kyle, and Jet Lawrence goes undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much went as our RM fantasy picks. Like everybody knew I was gonna go. So
I would say he goes undefeated, or like a first turn crash happens.
Yeah.
that's what it's got to be. It's like a pile up.
Yep. But he's so good at hole shots too, where he was first and second this weekend in the hole shots.
And who beat him? His brother.
Yeah. There's him and Hunter 1 and 2 for both motos.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's got to be something weird, a mechanical or going down in the first turn. But he's so fast. I bet you he could come through the pack.
Yeah. I've been watching highlight videos of like James Stewart back in the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been doing this weekend.
Oh, it was a graduation weekend.
Yeah.
I rode dirt bike up at Brooks on Saturday, and then went up to Thief River and hit up Jesse Hallstrom's graduation party.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You were at Josh Gerbrat's graduation party.
Yep. Congrats. You made it through high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one meme I've seen. You made it through the easiest part of your life.
Yep. But yeah, no, it was a busy weekend, but
3-day weekend now just flew by.
yep. It's mine and Katie's anniversary tomorrow.
Mm.
So
Cool.
you remember that.
Oh yeah. I was there.
2-3 years now?
2.
Oh, 2?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
And we'll be having Vince call in towards the end of Orion's segment, because Vince is also a huge IndyCar fan.
yeah.
So Vince was bombarding me with questions.
Mhm.
He's like, "Well, do you just want me to call in?" I was like, Sure. You can
Call into our call in. Why
Yeah.
not?
Because then he'll be able to ask more in-depth questions since he kind of knows what's going on. I got a few questions, but more almost general, just like basic
Yeah.
questions of
Like, what engine do you use?
exactly. That's one of my questions. They only have Chevys and Hondas.
Yeah.
It's like, why only those two? Which I thought was odd too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the fastest of the fast, like as fast as you can make a tire car go, you know? So it's like the ultimate stuff. Like, so I have no idea where to even begin.
No, I've never even watched a race, to be honest. It's just not my style of racing that I like to watch.
Like, I like the stuff where you're like, it's like production stuff. So like you can build this and do this, you know?
Like back when like Earnhardt was racing like
Yeah.
a stock
Yeah.
Monte
Like,
Carlo.
Yep, exactly. That's, glory days.
Yeah.
If you want to call them the glory days, sure.
Yep. Yep. Like real cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. True. That is cool. Where it's like a more of a stock production based machine.
I think so. But IndyCar is cool too because it's like the fastest thing that you can ever make.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. No, it is cool, but yeah, I just like more. Yeah, I like crotch rockets and then dirt bikes. So like,
I rode the Nighthawk in for today's episode.
You're giving us some good scenery. I've eyed it up 3 times since we've started.
If you guys want to know what I rode into the show today, just Google 2003 Honda Nighthawk 250.
But it's an all red one.
Yep.
It's not a black one. It's red.
Yeah. So
it's quite the hog.
It's sweet.
thanks to my father-in-law. Let me ride it. But I figured having it in the garage here might get Brody the itch to actually buy a motorcycle again, since you've been kind of holding off.
I've been thinking about you should get a supermoto. That'd be sweet.
No, I'd rather get a crotch rocket again if I was going that route.
Like even Vince's like T7, where it's like more gravel road almost. That I'd be interested
A
in.
supermoto with like knobby tires, so you could take gravel road.
Exactly, because he sent me a Snapchat going 101.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fast enough.
Yeah, definitely. That thing will go about like 77.
It's fast enough.
Yeah, that's fast enough too.
Yep, the speed limit 65. So that's all the faster I go. But okay, we'll give ORyan Bosek a question here. Oh, I had another question for him too on how he's related to the legend John Bosek.
Yeah.
So
is that way how we're gonna start it off? Is like the snowmobiling career?
yeah, Brody, turn him. Make sure he's up.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, ORyan, how's it going?
Hey guys.
Hey, thanks for the time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So, did you had to drive back from Indianapolis? Is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I'm not quite there. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin for the night now.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're just sitting in a hotel anyway. So.
Yep. Just planning to make it a break. Yeah, so we're down there for a whole month basically. So I just drive down so I have a vehicle.
Oh,
wow.
Holy cow. So I wanted to get started off with just giving you some props on the battle that you and Luke Van Lysel had at Nadawash in the semi-pro improved class. That was an awesome battle to watch. And then for you guys getting 7th at the Sioux this year with the RCI racing team.
No, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it was a good year for me. I got a good setup. I had my cross country sled, and yeah, me and Luke had a lot of fun that race. Like it was just nonstop back and forth.
Yeah, it was finished behind him within a second, I think it was.
Yeah. It was like we were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, in the last corner, he's like, I was taking the inside, and I was gonna go slow to make sure you couldn't get on the inside of me." I'm like, "Oh, I tried. There's nowhere to go."
And then that's the 7th at the Sioux. That's your guys' best finish there too, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Actually, it's our first time finishing the race too. The first year. We had like 20 laps to go, and I ended up breaking the outside spindle. So we were done there. And then last year, I blew it up 60 laps in. But and then this year it held together.
Huh? Heck yeah! Because you got their RCI Racing is parked right next to the Cataract trailer, so they borrowed us a radar gun this year. Cool. On Friday we went testing on that sketchy lake. So Ryan, not many people probably know that you work in IndyCar, like that they might see you at the snowmobile races and whatnot too, but you work in IndyCar. So how did you get into IndyCar, and like what do you do too?
So I went to school for automotive actually in Wapaton, North Dakota, and we had to do an internship. And so year one into it, I was thinking about doing an internship somewhere. And I have family that lives down in Indianapolis or Speedway, where all the race teams are. And they're like, why don't you apply to one of the teams or just call one up? And I'm like, well, okay, I'll probably try to do that. And she's like, well, call this team. Like, I know a few people there. Like, they seem super nice. And I'm like, all right. So I called the team. The team manager actually took my phone call. And he's like, we've done internships for engineering, but never as a mechanic. But yeah, why not? You'll come in for the month of May, which is the Indy 500, and you can intern and we'll go from there. And so I went down, did the month of May, and I still had another year left of school. So I had to go back and finish college. And the following year he calls me and he's like, hey, I need another mechanic for the month of May. Will you come down? And so that point I got hired on. And so I went in and he's like, so it's going to be pretty easy. Like, you're going to be the second mechanic on the front end of the car. Basically, you're just going to help out for the month. The car is going to be completely pre-built. Everything good. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Just managing the car. I get down there. It's a bare tub, no wiring, no front end built on it. And he's like, here's the build sheet. Build the car. There was no other front end mechanic. I was the only one.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh.
So this team was running two other full-time cars. But at the beginning of the month of May, there's the Indy GP. And so they left and went to the GP track. And so right before they left, I took a bunch of pictures on my phone to see how the car was kind of built. And one of the mechanics was like, hey, I need help. Like, give me a rundown of how to put this car together, because I've never done it before. And he kind of helped me out a little bit. And I actually got the car together as a roller, and we brought it to the track, and then I finished it up there. And it made it the whole month of May, no problem. So my crew chief actually came in after I built the car, and because he flew in from California. And about halfway through the month, he's like, so how long have you been doing this? I'm like, this is my first month. And he's like, there's no way. I'm like, no, serious. Like, this is my first month. He's like, God, I would have thought you've been doing this for 10 years. I'm like, I'm 21 years old. There's no way I can do this for 10 years.
Holy cow. I can't imagine trying to build something like that. Like, Kyle, like, thered be probably torque specs on everything that you wouldn't even think of.
So the funny part is like, when I first started my internship, my crew chief said that, if you don't know what tight's tight, then you don't need to be in the series. That's basically what he said. So I hardly ever use a torque wrench, which is very not normal, I guess. Some teams demand you to have it, and then some teams are like, if you think it's tight. Until you have an issue, we don't care. We trust you. So there's certain things on the car that you have to torque. But a lot of it is all by feel, because we just don't have the time to run through and torque everything every time we take the car apart. Because we make a lot of changes, in pit lane and practice and stuff. We'll do ride height changes, camber changes, toe changes, and stuff like that. Even some of the geometry of how the A-arms on the front end or rear end of the car sit. We'll do that in pit lane. And when we do that, it's 100% by feel. You tighten up the bolts and you send it. And then they're back going 240 miles an hour. So there's a little bit of stress with it, I guess.
Yeah, stress and a learning curve to know what's tight enough.
Right, exactly.
That's crazy.
So
though.
when I first started, I was pretty paranoid on it. The car would go out and it'll be like, hey, 3 laps went by. I'm like, hey, everything's good.
So you're a mechanic then. So you changing tires, or are you just what are you doing now?
So I've done pretty much every wheel on a car, like the inside, outside, rear, and front. So last year I was inside front on AJ Foyt's car, which was Santino Ferrucci at the 500, and we ended up third place at the 500 last year.
Damn.
That's cool.
So we were leading with 4 laps to go, and everyone started crashing. We got red flagged like 4 times in the last like 5 laps. And so by the restarts, we ended up getting passed, and on the third is what we finished. So it's kind of a bummer because we led a lot at the end.
That was number 14, right?
Yep, that was 14. They did actually pretty well this year again too. So this year I switched because right now, like, I'm not a full-time mechanic for IndyCar for a team. I'm considered a contract mechanic or a fly-in mechanic. And with that, it's when teams don't have enough full-time employees, they call me or people like me to fly into the races to help get the car on the track, keep them running all weekend, and to do tire changes, pit stops, stuff like that. So this year, I switched teams to Juncos Hollinger Racing. And I was on Agustin Canapino's car, which is the 78 car.
Yep.
So this year they had enough crew over the wall. So then I was the dead man doing the fuel, holding the fuel down. So like there's the fueler that's over the wall, and then there's the guy behind the wall doing the fuel part on the fuel rig, pulling the lever down so this way it shuts off if there is a fire or something like that.
Are you also the one that are they spraying water on the car as the fuel nozzle is being pulled away, or what is that they're spraying on?
So when the car takes off, they spray water. We have a guy that does that, and that's just to keep from the car from igniting flames. Because sometimes the E85 will actually go down between the bodywork and underneath, and you don't want it to ignite underneath the side pods because at that point you can't see the fire, and it'll burn up a bunch of the wiring and stuff in there. And then it'll take you out of the race because of it.
Jeez. Is it weird that you guys are still refueling? Because that was a thing that's been taken out of F1 for a few years now, that was like a hazard that they took out. So now everybody just starts with a certain amount of fuel.
Yeah. So like F1, they got rid of it because of that, of the danger of fueling. But then the races are super short because of it.
Oh, sure.
So, like, I don't know. We'd have to have a really big fuel tank on the car to get 500 miles.
Yeah, that does make sense. Silly question. But I do think the F1 cars, they have like a 38-gallon fuel tank or something. I think it's that big.
Yeah, it's something like that. We run 18.5 gallons in our car. And I'm it was like around 30 laps you can do. So it's like 60 miles you can do basically on a tank of fuel. And that's about pretty much the average. But no, like IndyCar is pretty like traditional. So like they don't want to go away from a lot of things.
Sure.
So like they always do. They want to keep the fuel. They want to keep the tire changes. They're to the point where like certain things at the track, like the Indy 500, like there's things that could get updated and they won't because it's tradition to leave it that way. So it's been like that for 100 years. We're going to leave it like that for 100 more years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so this year we had a pretty rough qualifying, I guess. Our first time we went out, we had a really fast car actually in practice the day before qualifying, and the engineers changed some of the setup on the car to try to make it a hair faster for the weather change. And the driver wanted the day before car. So we went out on a first run and we ended up qualifying at like 22nd is what we ended up. But so we came back in and we cooled the car down, which for us to like requalify, in order to pick up speed, we actually have to like cool all the water, the gearbox, everything down. Because if the engine's hot, you won't ever get top speed out of the car again. And it takes about an hour to cool the car down. So we cooled it down and we went back out, made some changes. And on our run, when you went out, we ended up doing a 233.8, and then it was a 233.2, which was sitting us about fourth or third at the time. And his drop wasn't going fast, so we would have been for sure in the fast 12 for the next day. But we ended up having a plenum event, and that's when the boost inside the intake gets too high and ignites the fuel, and then it burns all the wiring inside of the engine.
Holy crap.
Oh my God.
So when that happens, the engine cuts out and like goes instantly into limp mode. And so it scratched our qualifying.
Wow.
So we ended up qualifying 22nd instead of possibly being in the top 12, even the top 6 the following day.
Holy cow.
I got a question. How do you cool the car down that fast? Like you just put a bunch of fans on it or what?
Yeah, basically it's a bunch of fans, and then like every so many minutes we'll actually crank the car over and try to just churn the water and oil through all the radiators that way wise.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, his 4-lap average, Brody, 231.8 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
And you're trying to go faster.
Yeah. Well, he said they were going faster.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
this
God.
year, new guy, I'm trying to think who set the pole. It was McLaughlin, I think. McLaughlin set it at like 234.2 was his average. And that was the fastest pole record they've ever had.
Wow. That is insane.
And a 90 mile an hour average is pretty damn good at the Sioux.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
right.
God.
Right?
Yeah,
Holy cow. I can't even imagine.
that's insane.
Yeah, think of going half that speed at the Sioux. Like, just holy crap.
So Ryan, what's the vibes like from the standing on the grid at the Sioux to standing on the grid at the Indy 500? Are there any similarities?
I mean, there is. Like, I don't know, because, like, you know, the Sioux is a lot about tradition, too, is like how I look at it. And so, like, being as a driver on the Sioux track, I feel pretty close to the same as just being a pit crew at the 500.
Because I think they said there's 330,000 plus in attendance.
Yeah, they were like 5,000 or just shy of that of being a sold out
Wow.
for the thing. So yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, like we had a rain delay this year, and like we were sitting in the garage as it's downpouring rain, and all we hear is the screaming and like cheering and crowds, and like, what the heck is going on outside? So we're looking and stuff, and these fans are like running through water and sliding through water on the grass, and you know they're singing happy birthday to someone that found out there was a birthday in the crowd, and like it's kind of cool, like just to see that like everyone was getting into it, just keep the vibe going until the race was going to start.
So that was one of my questions, that it was a 4-hour rain delay. So what are you guys doing during that 4 hours? Are you able to like work on the car at that time, or are they kind of set aside?
Yep. So until the car's on the grid, we can work on it. So if the race would have started and then it rained, then the cars are impounded and we're not allowed to touch them. But since the race didn't start, we were allowed to keep them warm, make any changes if we needed to. But at that point, in the morning, the car was already set up and ready to go. So we didn't have to do anything really. So like I ended up taking a nap for like a half hour, just waiting for the rain to go away. And I mean, that's what a lot of people do. And then you just sit around, talk and stuff, and you're just waiting for the rain to go away.
Yeah, there was a little concern that if they were going to be able to get the whole race in on the day or not, they had to like 8:15 p.m. If they hadn't got the 200 laps in by then they were going to call it, which I thought was crazy that they'd do that.
Yeah. So the reason for that is because of like safety of getting the people outside of the track and getting them on their way. Because once it gets dark, it's just so hard to get rid of 300,000 people.
Really?
Yeah, because like even like when the race ended yesterday, it was I think like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when the race ended, and I left the track at like 10:30, and it was still like a couple miles long of traffic trying to leave the track.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And I just had to drive like 5 miles, or not even 5 minutes, normal, just to get to where I needed to go, and it took me a half hour.
That's wild when you're at a race and they plan the race over how long it takes everyone to leave. That's wild.
Right.
That is wild when you put it in that kind of context. Wow.
Got anything, Kyle?
What kind of engines are in these cars?
So they're V6 twin turbo is what they are. So they're Chevy or Honda, but they're a spec engine, so they're very similar. But like Honda builds their own and Chevy builds their own. Chevy actually has Ilmor build it, the engineering group. But Chevy's just kind of partnered with them.
So
that way wide.
Is it also a hybrid too, like half hybrid?
So not yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's going to be the July 4th around there is Mid-Ohio race, and that's when the first hybrid race is going to happen.
Oh, okay. So then if you're using that twin turbo V6, that's hybrid mode would almost be very similar to what the F1 guys are using right now, right?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what they have for motors in theirs. But yeah, they're running a hybrid system. With ours, like once we get the hybrid, it's going to increase our horsepower by using it. So it's going to change racing quite a bit of when the drivers are able to use it and stuff like that. It's going to make passing at different locations easier.
Are they looking forward to that, or are there some people that are kind of grumbling about bringing batteries into race cars?
So like, I don't think there's so much like from the fan side on it, I guess. Some of the mechanics, like the older mechanics, don't want to go to it. Like the younger mechanics, they're just like, this times are changing. This is what you got to do. And so that's what's kind of going to end up happening. We've been doing some testing with the hybrid unit and stuff. So it's been pretty smooth now this year. Last year, they were having some struggles keeping it working and stuff. But now, yeah, it's been pretty straightforward, easy swap out. The only problem I don't know how they're going to do is, like, we're starting it midway through the season, and that makes it difficult for like the championship points, I think, anyways. They think it's all fine, but it's like you're switching like the whole aspect of like the race car, going to a hybrid system, but you're still trying to keep it as a points championship.
That is odd that they're doing it halfway through the series.
Yeah, how do you feel about the whole switching over and everything?
Honestly, it's because like I specialize just on the front end of the car. It doesn't affect me hardly at all.
Okay.
It's more on the rear end mechanics that have to work around it and work on it. They have to be a little more cautious and stuff. But talking to them, they say it's pretty simple as long as you just keep it out on discharge when you're working on it. It's like working on a normal back end of the car.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So yeah, so they showed your team, Team 78, do it like during a pit stop. Like I think it was like lap 100, 130 or so. So I was kind of looking for you to see if I could pick. If I was wondering if you were out there or not. But okay, you were running the fuel shut off. Was it that fuel stop or the next one that you guys picked up a penalty?
It was the last one. And that ended up being a drive or speeding through the pit. And we watched him come in the pit lane and he smoked the tires and we were like, yep, he came in too hot. So we knew like instantly that it was going to be a stop and go drive through penalty. And that really took us out of the race, especially so late in the race. We just couldn't make up our time. And so then we ended up just kind of funneling back and just finishing the race at that point. Otherwise, we had a really good run. I mean, we ran in the top 10 for over half the race up until that point. And then we figured it had been a top 10 finish to a top 5 finish.
Yeah, because I was wondering what the penalty was because they didn't really say what it was. So it's pretty much the same thing that Kyle Larson did. Was he just came into the pits way too hot, just skidded across the line.
Right. So yeah. So the speed limit in pit lane is 60 miles an hour. So if you go over that, then you have to do a drive through.
Okay. So yeah, I had that written down that you guys were running top 10 for quite a while until that penalty kind of just put you down a lap. But then then your car was fast, like towards the end of the race. Like even some of the announcers were saying that like he was just staying right up there with that lead pack, being a lap down.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we were just trying to stay out of the way because we didn't want to wreck someone's race that wasn't, since we were a lap down. But yeah, our car was, I mean, midway through the race, we knew that we had a car to run up front and we could lead the race if we got the opportunity to. But we were saving fuel because once we were about to get lapped, we just had to back off and save fuel. And then once we knew we were good on fuel the rest of the race, we just let them go.
I did think that was a really cool aspect that you guys just kept pitting under green. That it was just like it really added some excitement to it. That everybody was coming in on green flag laps. Yeah. That's not usually how it goes for like us at the Sioux or something. Right. We're usually waiting for a caution.
For a yellow, yeah.
Because like we have like a fuel strategist like on our timing stand and stuff, and like his job is just basically to look at fuel numbers and make sure that we're making it and how many more laps we can go. So like if we don't get a yellow, we'll wait all the way up until the last second to pit. But if a yellow comes out right when we need a pit, we'll run out of fuel on the track, or we'll have to stop and take a drive-through penalty to actually go when the pits are closed.
Wow. Holy crap. There's so much to this that I have no idea. Absolutely wild to hear someone on the inside.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of races like on the road course and street course, especially when they take the checkered, they can't make it around the track again. They actually run out. There's always like 2 or 3 cars that can't make it around on the cool down lap.
Oh my God. That's how close you guys are cutting it. That's how precise everything is on these cars. That's insane.
Yep.
Pretty damn cool.
And so you said that it's E85 fuel?
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's weird.
Boosted applications.
Yeah, but so like my Toyota Tundra Flex Fuel, it gets worse mileage with E85 in it. Like
probably burns cooler though.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, the ethanol burns cool, but the main reason is that was their sponsor. They're trying to go green. And so they basically told Chevy and Honda to be like, hey, if you want to keep making engines, you make it run on E85 because that's your fuel supplier. It's kind of like the Sioux, I guess. Like, you have to use Sunoco fuel. I mean, granted, you can use 116 or 98 octane. Mm-hmm. That doesn't matter, but you have to use Sunoco, where like for IndyCar, you have to use E85.
Huh. That is odd.
Yeah, I would have figured it's some crazy jet fuel that no one can even buy.
Right, exactly.
Corn fuel.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is there a reason on why it's just Chevy and just Honda? Like
they've been trying for years to get more manufacturers into IndyCar. A lot of engine suppliers, they just don't want to do the R&D behind it because it's just millions of dollars to go racing. And a lot of companies just don't see the value in it, I guess, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's odd just to have 2 engine manufacturers. Because that's as the lineup was going down, all I was seeing is just Chevy, Honda. I was like, not even a Toyota out there.
Or like a Ford, their main engine, the EcoBoost, is a twin turbo V6.
Yeah.
Like, why would
right,
they
exactly.
try and make
we're surprised that Ford hasn't came in yet. But yeah, I mean, it's like Honda actually struggled this last month at the Indy 500. They blew up quite a few motors throughout the month and during the race. So like, I think they had 3 blow up in the race. So they also say, cars got smoked, the motor was done.
It was right away in the race too. Like that, a couple of them were having engine issues.
Yep. Yeah. So they had that, and then they struggled with speed too. They just didn't have what the Chevys had.
Like when they're having an engine issue like that, is that just like going too lean on their computer programming, or?
It's kind of got a little bit of everything in it. I mean, lean too much, like the boost gets messed up in it. But yeah, it's in their configurations of how they're mapping the engine. On the engine side, I don't really know a lot about, just for the fact that we're not allowed to know. So
Really?
like,
I was kind of curious about that.
When Chevy comes in and like they have to work on the inside of the motor, they like are really strict on making sure that we don't see a lot of the stuff. Like when they do spark plugs, they have a special wrench that goes over and it's got a sleeve. So when they pull the spark plug out, the sleeve goes over the spark plug, so you can't see what the spark plug is.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, that's crazy.
Some like CIA shit going on.
right.
Just for Indy cars, that's wild.
So is it Chevy that's doing like all the brain box tuning to it, or does like each team have an individual like kind of ECU guy almost?
So each team has their own Chevy engineer, but they all go back to the same basically garage or trailer and decipher all the data together and change the mapping accordingly.
So do you know what kind of like RPM and like what kind of boost they're running in these things?
So I'm trying to think what the boost is. It's like 1.3 bar.
What does that mean?
What's that in pounds?
Explain that to like you're explaining it to a child, please.
Honestly, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, we're all in the same boat.
Right. I don't know I don't know the numbers to convert it.
But
Gunner's trying to figure out on his phone here.
That's just crazy.
I think
a boosted application with 10,000 plus.
30 bars, like 400 psi.
It says 1.8 bars would be 26 psi.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's about like the Cummins.
Sure.
Yep.
I just don't spin that many RPMs.
No.
Yeah, and then like in the RPMs, they're like 12,000 RPMs, 10 to 12,000.
God,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like 30 pounds of boost with 10,000 RPMs is like insane.
To do it for 500 miles.
Yeah.
Like wide open the whole time.
Right. Yeah, so like the V6, it does, like with the boost, it's like 750 horsepower they put out.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
that ain't too bad.
No.
Holy cow.
How light are these cars?
They're 1,700 pounds.
For 750 horsepower, oh my God.
That's light.
That's why they go so fast.
That's like one of my four strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like with the front wing and rear wing and like all the downforce that we have on the car, on track, it weighs 3 times the weight of the car.
So
Wow.
I noticed that on pit lane that they were making a lot of like front wing adjustments. Like there's some quick turn knobs up on the front wings.
Yep, so we have them on the front wing and the rear wing. But the front wing is more for your, if you have understeer or oversteer. So if he starts pushing in the corner, we'll add a little wing into it. And just like, a little bit of like a half a degree or quarter degree of wing, we'll put the front end back in where he doesn't push in the corner.
And then so ORyan, I watch a lot of F1, so that's why all my comparisons are kind of to F1. The rear wings don't look nearly as big as like an F1 car does neither. Is there any science to that on?
So, if you'd actually pull up a IndyCar road course wing or street course, they are similar to the F1. On the ovals, they like made them super slim, and there's not much of a wing on them.
Oh, okay.
And that's just so there's less drag. So they can get up to 240 some miles an hour down the straightaways.
Because they don't need all that downforce to make the crazy turns when they're going just in a big oval. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So when we go to the road course, they are very similar. They're a pretty big wing on the rear at that point. And even the front wing is probably twice or 3 times as big as what is on the speedway.
Mm-hmm. And in pit lane, is it like an air hose that's being hooked up to the rear of the car that lifts it off the ground?
Yep. So there's one air hose that you plug in, and then there's 4 air jacks that go out the bottom of the car and lift the car up.
Because I noticed that. I was like, nobody's jacking the car up, and I seen one guy like plug a air hose into the back, and then sure enough, that's what was going on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Got to make sure to unplug that air hose.
Yeah. They every once in a while will drop a gear when it's still up in the air when tires will spin. But
God, what's that sound like?
It's like them dudes who warm their sleds up on the jack
Oh
stands
yeah,
in the
just
morning.
wide open, just screaming away.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of sketchiness in pit road. Have you ever like encountered a sketchy pit road moment?
yeah, like I've had a few. I mean, so they come in at 60 miles an hour, and like when I did inside rear, inside front, they miss you by like an inch or two. It's super close. And they drop their front wing in. That's kind of normal to me now, I guess. You get used to it. But every once in a while, they'll lock up their brakes, especially on the ovals, because we have weight jackers and stuff. So like when the weight jacker isn't centered, it'll put a lot of weight to like either the front left tire or pull weight off the front left tire. So when they grab brake and they have all the weight on the front left, it just darts the car to the left, which puts us right up against the wall. And they have no control over it because once they hit the brakes, all the weight's going left, and they can't even correct it.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of when they're talking about like brake balance and stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And so like our spotters, every time they come into the pit lane, they're like, "Hey, put your tools back to neutral, or center the car," and they'll adjust all that. So this way, when they come in, they don't forget to do it, and then they don't hit us. Is what basically happens. But yeah, they come in hot every once in a while, and you have to like jump on the wall, and then you go back down, and you change the tire really close to the wall. But
just get used to it.
Yeah,
the sketchiness.
Yeah, pretty much. Occasionally, some guys do get hit. Last year, I was changing tires on inside rear of. I'm trying to think who it was. Actually, it's 2 years ago now. It was Dalton Kellett was the driver, and they had another guy come in to do the inside rear. He was normally doing it, but I had to fill in for a couple races, and so I was there just to help, but I didn't have to do inside rear. He got hit that race.
Oh my god!
And like tore his whole leg up. Like had to have stitches. His one muscle got ripped up and like rolled up into his thigh and stuff.
Oh
like,
god!
It was bad. And then the next weekend I had to start doing that tire, and I'm like, I don't really want to anymore.
Holy cow!
Oh yeah, I bet it. Yeah, it has to happen eventually. It can't be perfect every race, every pit stop. So
no, and it's normally not like your driver that hits you. It's normally like another driver that'll hit the car or hit or spin out. Like they do that like when they take out of the pits once they get new tires, they just get a little too excited and they drop the pedal too hard, and next thing you know they're facing pit wall and another pit stall.
Oof.
And so like if you're doing tires at the time, you get hit that way, or like if you're set up and you have to try to avoid the car as it's coming at you.
Imagine if we were trying to do 60 miles an hour down the pit at the Sioux.
Yeah.
Right.
Just screaming through there.
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be sketchy. But they're spread out a little bit farther. It'd be like if we were spread out the whole length of the track, maybe then. But
it's funny, like because like if you'd actually take the width of the snowmobile or length of the snowmobile to like the length of the car, it's not much different. Like actually for like spacing wise.
Really?
Because like if you take like for how much room we have at the Sioux, and then like you just kind of like, hey, this is how much room it takes to pull in the sled and pull out. Now you do that with the car, it's about the same gap. It's tight in pit lane. Because like when they come in, they both hit. If all the cars are in and set up, when they pull in, they'll miss the outside front tire changer by just a couple inches, and when they pull out, they normally miss like the inside or outside rear tire changer by a couple inches.
That's tight.
Yeah, just a game of inches the whole way around.
Yeah, the whole time.
And
like when you're changing the tire, like when they come in, like you're changing the tire, you don't even know how close they are. Like you can feel it, but you don't actually know if they're going to hit you or not.
You just try not to think about it.
Yeah, when you're changing the tire, you're not thinking of anything besides changing the tire.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What about the impact gun that you're using to change the tire? Because like I noticed like the guy who's changing it, like the outside front tire, he just chucks that gun towards the wall when he's done. So then he's just standing out of the way. Like I thought, oh man, that can't be good for that gun. But everybody's doing it.
Yep. So they get rebuilt a lot. Like it's like every third race they get rebuilt for sure. Especially the outside one, because that one gets thrown so much.
Just whipped.
Yeah. And then we have backup guns behind the wall. So if we have a gun failure, then we have to turn around, try to get that gun, and go back and finish the tire change.
And then like when you're doing a tire, is it just like 1-2 ugga-duggas to it, or is there a certain torque spec on that? I'm sure on that lug nut for those.
I mean, there is a torque spec, but we set the pressure high enough that if you hear it hit, it's tight. So like when it hits one ugga-dugga, you're pulling off already and sending the car.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, the gun spins so fast that like the reaction time, like once it hits, like it's tight.
Cool.
I'm always scared to like cross thread stuff. So I've told the guys that I work with, it's like probably 70% of the cars I don't cross thread bolts, but the other like 30% cross thread like a mother. Like no other.
Are you practicing pit stops at JAG or what?
Yeah. No, I just got to deal with messed up angles all the time. So like that's like NASCAR and IndyCar. Like how do they not cross thread the crap out of like lug nuts and all that stuff?
So if you'll watch, every once in a while there's like on the camera you'll see there's sparks flying everywhere. That's because they're not lined up.
Wow. Huh.
And
So it happens.
It does happen.
Huh.
You can gum up the threads. They still go on.
Nah.
They just come off really hard.
Yeah.
So
See,
if you're going to cross thread it,
everybody.
you do it at the end.
Wow.
I've always wondered that because like so when I'm watching F1, sometimes they'll have trouble taking a wheel off or like putting a wheel on. So if that's the case, then they're messing up.
Yeah. I say good luck to the next guy.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Well, it's them that was the problem.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't happen a lot where you'll cross thread it, but you can do it. Normally, it's like another thing too is if you hold on too long and you go to 4 ugga-duggas or something like that, that next pit stop, you're sitting there waiting for the gun to take that nut off.
Wow. But yeah, there's obviously like a technique to it where, you don't cross thread it all the time. So
yeah, I mean, you practice enough where like it becomes more muscle memory and you can hit it pretty square.
yeah.
I mean, we like in IndyCar, in NASCAR too, I guess. It's only one lug nut now.
Mm-hmm.
So like the hub's pretty big. So like once you're on the hub, it's pretty easy to keep it squared if you have done it a few times. So it's easier that way. Like if it's your first time, you can cross thread them pretty easy. But
what about your first time doing a wheel change during a race? Were you pretty nervous?
Yeah. I mean,
oh yeah, you'd almost have to be nervous.
the excitement on it and like your adrenaline rush would be like the first time you took the green flag at the suit. Like, I mean, it's your heart's pounding so fast, and then it's like you're only doing it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the biggest thing. 5 seconds not to make a mistake.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I get nervous holding goggles for Gunner at the Pine Lake race, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't yell at me.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't need these goggles. I hope he doesn't take them.
Right.
That's crazy. So like the front ends of these cars, like I'm sure the wing is all carbon fiber, and then like are the A-arms and everything carbon fiber too as well?
Nope. So the A-arms are metal.
Oh, they are.
And then we put carbon fiber covers over them.
Oh, maybe so. That's why I'm thinking it then.
Yeah. So they look like they're carbon fiber, but they're just covers that we put over them. So this way there's better aerodynamics and they're sealed better that way wise. But pretty much like the front wing, nose, the whole cockpit of the car is carbon fiber. All the body work going back is carbon fiber. The gearbox is magnesium.
Really? Oh wow!
Yep.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, they switched everything pretty much to mag. Like the bell housing is mag now. Trying to lighten up the car as much as they can to put the hybrid unit in it.
Fun fact: like the carburetor on James Stewart's like KX125 was magnesium.
Really?
Yep.
Magnesium, they had a problem back in like the 70s, was brittle. So
it was like a one-off carburetor. I know
that's pretty cool.
Jeremy Ulrich talked about
like 1972 Arctic Cat Formula 2 magnesium chassis.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's before my time, Kyle.
Yeah. The more you know.
All right. That's crazy.
Yep. And then like all the wheels are magnesium.
Is there what would you say is one of the craziest like one-off parts that is made like for the car? Like, oh, I can't believe they spend this much money on this bracket or something.
Well, all of it's kind of that way.
Yeah. All of it's nuts.
Like the front like main plane, I think is like 15 or 20 grand.
Oh.
A set of tires is $5,000.
Chump change.
Oh my God. For a set of Firestones.
Yeah.
God.
Like there's some like we do use a lot of titanium bolts. So like the hardware's all tie, which isn't cheap.
No,
that's pretty cool though.
Holy cow! Is there? I know I had a few separate questions. Is the Firestone tires, are they all the same compound, or is it like F1 where you guys have different compounds?
So they are different.
Oh,
so we have so every track is a different compound.
Oh, really?
So they actually design the tire per track.
Wow.
Just so they have better grip and stuff and that they hold up. And then like when you're at road course, you'll have your primary tires and your alternates, which are reds and greens, depending on if it's street course or road courses when they go from the greens to the reds. And the only difference is the greens are a recycled tire and they're made from like sugar cane. Like they're green tires, why they call it that. They're supposed to be better for the environment.
What the hell? Didn't even know that's real. They're making tires out of sugar cane?
It's something like that. It's weird.
Do they wear faster, or are they the same? Or
they're softer, like sidewall wise. Like the drivers right away. I don't know if they've fixed it now. I don't hear any drivers talk about it anymore. But when they first came out with it, I think it was last year or the year before, they could actually feel like more like flexing the sidewalls of the tires, like as they were driving it, like going through the corners and stuff. But I think that was just because they initially designed it and they didn't have much feedback from it yet.
Yeah, I feel like marshmallows.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
God damn, that's weird.
It seems like they still have the same amount of grip that way wise, and they hold up pretty well.
I might have to do more research on that. That's the weirdest thing I've heard in a while.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't exactly know everything they put into it to make it a tire, but yeah, it's like sugar cane or some kind of cane that they use.
Wow. Well, yeah, the more you know, Kyle.
Well, DNR stops by and I'm burning tires one day. I'm just going to tell them, hey,
there's sugar cane tires.
Yeah, they're green tires.
They're green tires. Just rolling black smoke into the atmosphere.
Yeah, this is a green tire there.
Yeah, that is weird. Huh.
Jinx. We said at the same time.
Well, I was looking at my list here.
Were you run out of questions? Is it time to call Vince?
Well, I was looking at my questions, and so ORyan, I told Vince that you were coming on, and Vince is a big IndyCar fan. So
Yep.
he was rambling questions to me, and he said, "Well, can I just call in and I'll just have my own questions?" And I said, "Sure." So I was just looking at making sure I didn't overlap with any of Vince's questions, because Vince is going to ask more like in-depth technical questions.
Yeah, because we're just three morons here.
Right. You might know more than me then.
Well, I got a quick question. When the drivers are coming out of the turns, why do they dip so far into the inside and then back on to the outside? Why do they do that for, I don't know.
So it's like hitting your apex and marks. So like your rules state that like you can't go all 4 tires over the line, but you can, put 2 tires over it. And by doing that, you're kind of rounding the corner to get the best like line is what it comes down to. Like you'll see some guys like in like at Pine Lake, they'll like kind of hop outside the track and take the snow and slow down some, and then they drop back in.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing of getting the perfect corner. You can drive it in harder, using the snow as a parachute to slow you down at times.
Yeah.
They do it so this way they can hit the corner harder by ducking in, and then they let the car float out. So this way there's less scrub from the tires from churning the car itself.
So it actually does do something. I thought they were just doing it to make it less boring for themselves.
No. So like when you see them run on like road course and street course and they hit the curbs and the whole car's in the air, they're doing it to be faster.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were the ones that invented that. Hit the outside of the track to slow down.
Okay, Orion, if you want to hold for 1 second, we'll get Vince on the line here. We played phone tag with him and Alex Satine quite a few episodes back, and it didn't work out. So we didn't know what we were doing. But
yeah.
All right.
But if you want to hold for 1 second, we'll get Vince on here and we'll get the calls merged together.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, let's make sure I can do this right this time.
Technology, man.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Hello, this is VS3.
VS3, hold for 1 second.
You got it.
You called me.
Okay, now we should have Orion and VS3 on the line.
Yep,
Is this true?
it is.
Wow. Incredulous.
Right. We got it working.
Okay, Vince, we bombarded Orion with all of our basic questions. So we told him you'd probably have some much more in-depth questions for him.
Did you ask any of the stuff that I sent you this morning or no?
I asked him about the tire thing, about the different compounds of tires, because that was also one of my questions.
Yeah. Okay.
But none of the other ones I interfered with.
Oh, not even the Honda one?
Oh, yeah. Or no, not the reason why they were having trouble.
Oh, okay. Do you have any idea why that happened, Ryan? Why the Jap POW was going down?
I don't know exactly.
You guys are on the Chevy stuff, so.
Yeah, so I know Honda was struggling. And when I talked to one of the drivers, he didn't know what was going on. They just know that they weren't touching the Chevys at all, and Honda was trying to fix it, and it didn't seem like they were trying or getting it to be fixed by the race day.
Huh. Oh, so they were having that during qualifying stuff even?
During the whole month, they were blowing up motors quite often during practice and everything.
I didn't even have a chance to watch much of the other stuff, so I didn't know that.
Yep.
And so they obviously fixed the Chevy thing, which, do you know what that was during like qualifying and all that?
Yeah, it was a plenum event is what we ended up happening, which is when they have too much pressure inside the intake and it's igniting the fuel.
Okay. Then it just goes into like a limp mode then or whatever?
Yeah, it basically goes into limp mode and it starts burning all the wiring that's inside the intake plenum area.
Perfect. Just cost down, weight down stuff.
Yep. So yeah, Chevy had 7 plenum fires on qualifying day.
Wow.
My God. Huh. I didn't even know you switched over to Juncos, what is it, Juncos Hollinger Racing?
Hollinger, yep.
Yeah. Until you put the post up on Sunday morning.
Oh, really? Yeah. That was in December, I got a call from them. They needed another mechanic, and Hoyt didn't know what their plans were basically for the year yet, and so then I just switched.
Huh.
Orion,
Are you still doing?
Did you move around a little? Sorry. Oh, did you move around a little bit there? That last sentence you said there was pretty muffled and kind of glitchy.
Nope, you good?
Oh, yeah, that was better. Yeah, that was odd.
Okay.
Right, Kyle? Yeah, it was weird.
You sounded like the Jetsons.
So no, I had the Juncos Hollinger called me in December, asked if I wanted to start, work for them because they needed a contract mechanic for the year. And Foyt, I was talking to them at the time, and they didn't quite have their plan set up of what they were doing for the year. So then I just accepted going with them, and that's kind of how contract works for us. It's whatever team calls, you normally go with.
Sure. And are you part of the pit crew stuff with these guys then too, or no?
Yeah, so I'm doing it's called the dead man. It's basically the fuel shut off switch on the fuel. And then I'm reserve tire changer right now. So if anyone gets hurt, then I'll end up doing it.
Which, were you guys pitted in front or like right around like Callum Ilott or whatever?
Nope. Ilott was down towards the end of pit lane. We would have been, I don't know if you know where the pagoda is.
Yeah.
Yep. So we would have been to the left of that, like towards pit entrance by like six stalls.
It must have been, I don't know whose car it was then. I saw a black and green car and Ilott came in and just about smoked somebody. It was, okay.
Yep. So that was, which was actually funny because Larson didn't get penalized from it. But Larson gave Ilott a little bump in the back end. So it hit him hard enough where he blew by his pit stall and went into BK's pit stall. And then he was just sitting there, and all the guys are like, "You're in the wrong spot." Like,
wow.
And then BK was parked, in the lane one, trying to get to his stall and couldn't because there's a car in his way.
Oh, God. Well, that happened a couple times then, too.
Yeah. Pit lane gets pretty crazy during the 500 because everyone's coming and going at the same time. And especially like, you get McLaren or even like us, like we have the same colored car, same crew. And if you put the boxes side by side, like they'll pull into the wrong box like all the time.
Jeez. Vince, looking at your tire question, I don't know if we got into it, Orion. He had asked if there's a special tire compound just for the Indy 500.
Yep, and there is.
But is that similar on how they,
right to left?
What was that?
Go ahead, Gunnar. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, is that a similar change to like how they change it per every other race course, like you were talking about?
Yeah. Yep. It's just the compounds are made for that track, basically.
And are they different right to left for that track, or is it still the same, just front to rear?
Front to rear.
Okay. Wasn't sure if they had some different outside tires or.
No, yeah.
Like that.
The rules state that all the tires from front have to be the same dimensions and rear have to be the same dimensions. There's offset you're allowed, but that's on the rims, not actually the rubber.
Okay.
Tire part.
And are you guys like allowed to do any like what kind of custom stuff can you guys do? Because I know like back in like kart days, like they would get a chassis and they could like guys are making different custom aero parts and all kinds of stuff. Like I don't know if it's more of a kit car than it used to be, or
it's pretty much a kit car now. There's very little that we will custom make, I guess.
Sure. I know like shocks are open. Like a lot of guys shocks.
The dampers are completely open world, and that's how you make these cars fast. A lot of teams spend $250,000, $500,000 easily a year on just R&Ding on the dampers.
Do they need any Fox shocks set up by VS3?
We try. We talked about this already.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, not many people know that. Like, we actually made shocks back in the 80s for a lot of the IndyCar teams, and actually won the Indy 500 on Fox shocks with I don't remember who it was now.
Really?
But they just put the post up too, which was surprising. I was talking to the Carbide podcast guy about this
Oh, I think I know. What
like
you're
a few
talking
months
about.
ago, and he's like, yeah, like there's not a lot of guys that know about that. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like, we were big time in IndyCar, and then they put the post up for the 50th anniversary stuff.
Huh. Cool.
Right.
The more you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, most are like Penske shocks, or they're one-off
Yep.
designed ones.
Because I know when I was talking to the Dale Coyne guys, like, they make their own shocks.
Yep.
Which I think a couple teams do, but
Yeah. There's a lot of. I mean, most teams they're pretty much their own shock. Like, a lot of teams, they'll use like a Penske housing, and then they've added stuff to it and changed it that way, and all the internals and stuff have been changed.
Yep. And is it just the 4 shocks, like one per corner? Or do you guys have what is it, the mass damper too?
So there's 4 shocks on the car, and then there's we have thirds. Which basically
third
adjusts the, Yep. And they're mainly like, they're we call them cheese wedges and stuff, and like you put different springs on them, and like they use all sorts of different materials basically to change the dampening between on the third.
Okay.
Orion, like, do you guys use any like performance dampeners of like just chassis, like to absorb any like harmonic like vibrations at all?
Nope. Not that I know of, really,
Nope.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Big word, Gunner.
Guess your
Nice.
theory's flawed now, Gunner.
What was that?
Guess your theory's flawed now. Got to take the
Yeah.
special Speedworks,
Yeah.
not Speedworks Yamaha dampers off
Yeah.
the.
That was,
The
turns
race
out it
club.
was a big fluke.
I don't know. Yamaha sold them, so I bought them. We'll see if they help again
Yeah.
next year.
I think the snowmobile world has a bit more vibration in it and like 1,000 more rivets. So
True.
You're so smart, Vince.
and Reiner, you guys they switch to the hybrid engines at like Mid Ohio, don't they?
Yep. It's like the 4th of July is when we switch.
Okay. And how much you guys been doing a bunch of testing on that, or I don't even know how much testing time they have on those things. For
It's
development.
not I mean, we've been doing some. I haven't actually went to one of the tests because they did most of the testing during the winter, during race season.
Okay.
And I just told them I can't make those.
And I mean, Honda and Chevy are obviously making them still.
Yep. Yeah, they're
Okay.
still working on it together, basically on the hybrid system part.
So it's like the same, like displacement and everything like that. They just have a hybrid system that's added to it.
Yeah, so it's actually going in the gearbox itself.
Really?
So
Okay.
it's using super capacitors from there and then running the gearbox to add the power.
Oh, so you guys are racing DeLoreans then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You-
we just
yeah.
all looked at each other like, what did he just say?
You really are from the Jetsons.
Huh.
That's cool.
With like the testing time, is it regulated like it is with F1 on like every team has just a certain amount of testing, or is it just kind of a free for all?
No, there's only so many days allowed. Then you're allowed, I believe it's 2 extra days if you have a rookie driver. But it's not a lot of testing. The hybrid has added quite a bit because it's a new system. So then we kind of, since we've gone hybrid halfway through the season, we've doubled our basically testing days because now we have non-hybrid and hybrid testing days.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird. They put a limit on testing. That's
Well,
weird.
like even F1, like you only get a certain amount of like wind tunnel time, and it's like on how you did on the previous year in the championship.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Well, I think Penske would kind of have a one-up on everybody, seeing as they're pretty much based at Indy. They just go out there every damn day then, where everybody else couldn't. So
Penske's actually out of South Carolina.
Oh, that's right. They just own the.
They own the
track now.
IMS. Yep.
And the series, but
Maybe you're
yeah,
not so smart, Vince.
series, and I think there's
Sorry,
another
Kyle.
track too that he has ownership into.
Jeez.
More than one. It's quite a bit. But yeah, so like Penske's are out of South Carolina. Almost every other team is out of like Indianapolis, Speedway, Brownsburg area. Shank would be out of Ohio.
no, I know Dale Coyne's like Chicago.
Chicago, yep. Dale Coyne, Chicago.
Is
Foyt
McLaren out of?
McLaren's out of Indianapolis area. I don't know exactly
Okay.
where their shop's located.
Sure.
And then Foyt has 2 cars, but they're split between 2 shops. So they have 1 car based out of Indianapolis and 1 car out of Houston, Texas. And
Okay.
the last 2
Brewery
years, that's
Kings
where I was. Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Real good.
But yeah,
Just
yeah,
IndyCar stuff.
yeah. I went through all of my questions, so it was we got a lot of knowledge of IndyCar today.
I became a fan.
It's so much better than Formula One. You guys have to switch over.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually better racing for sure than F1.
yeah.
So much more entertaining.
The Monaco GP was this weekend, and it was probably the most boring race I had ever wasted my time watching.
Mhm.
And then I jumped into
That race can fuck off.
Yeah, that is a terrible racetrack. They've outgrown that track by like 10 times over the last 10 years.
Yep.
Fucking shifter carts at Brainerd are bigger, too big for that track.
Yeah, if they went to Monaco on 125 shifter carts, then you're talking. Like then you have a racetrack.
Yeah, that would be a race to watch.
Right.
You
Yep.
have like 300 helmets with heads in them oversized the barrier, but yeah. Just be like the annual decapitation event.
Right.
But
The
then
twins of go-karting.
but then watching the Indy 500, it's like, okay, now these guys are racing, like going into the turns
Yeah.
three wide. It's like, yeah,
Or 4 wide.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. F1 is just too tight and for them to run. It's just like a single file and they just space out too much because of how they run nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to we'll watch a few more IndyCar races this year. See if I want to
You
get in.
should come out to Road America
Where's that?
in
Elkhart?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess it'd probably be about 7.5, 8-hour drive for you guys. It's like 6 for me, but
Huh? What are you going out there, Vince?
I think so. I know we went. Did we go last year?
I think it was
2 years
last
ago?
year
I
that
think
we
it was
went.
last year. Yeah, it was last year because we stopped and almost got Ryan fired out of the Foyt tent, but you know.
Oh, they weren't firing me. You don't have to worry about that one.
I've been talking for a while, and I can't remember who it was. Came up, was like, "You should probably get back to work on the car."
Yeah, that was my crew chief. But yeah, no, we ended up having the test the next day down in Iowa. So we had to drive yet the next day.
Oofta.
I guess that we went to Iowa last year too, but I didn't see you down there because that was like a chaotic event.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of a cool event though, because like they have 4 concerts through the whole thing too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Brody's all about the concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got camping too. A lot of people just go down there and camp and
God damn.
get hammered all night, and then go watch concerts and racing during the day.
Kyle, this sounds like
Why
our.
am I the hammered guy?
And Kyle, if you plan it right, you're closer to Texas for the Kyle gathering too. So.
Yeah, right.
Take the interstate. Yeah.
They fell short on that, I thought though.
Yeah. Well,
Or
I
did
think
that
it
already happen?
Yeah, I think it already happened. It was
God.
sometime in May.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Monster needs a
Would they
sponsor. of that
lose it
event.
by 1 or something?
Right, yeah, it was 1. It's his fault.
Yeah.
They
Could you
tied it.
imagine? It was short 1, and you could have been the difference. You could have made the world record of Kyle's in town Kyle.
You know what? I'm not too butthurt about
You
it.
are
But
working on bodies.
yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could help Orion with like some body work on the F1 car.
No, carbon fiber looks good the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't need to mess it up. Add a whole bunch of weight by throwing shit on it.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Bunch of fun.
What's next on the schedule?
Detroit.
Oh, okay. So do you?
I think it's pronounced Detroit, but
Yeah, it's probably pretty close.
Why did they go away from Belle Isle and back to frickin' Sugtown, USA?
So I don't know exactly why they lost the Belle Isle deal. I think it was because they didn't like shutting down the park and stuff like that. But a lot of right. A lot of people wanted to run on the old F1 track is what the big thing was.
Well, at least it's not the Las Vegas parking lot F1 track then.
Hey,
Yeah. Hopefully we never go there.
The Las Vegas F1 last year actually turned out to be a pretty good race. Like,
I'm not talking about last year's. I'm talking about the one from like the 80s or something.
oh, sure. Oh, I see. Yep, I remember what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see. Huh, cool. You got anything else, Brody?
No, I'm good for now, I guess. I don't know what else to ask. I got nothing.
Well, we got Orion to call in once. We could definitely get him to call in again.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Watch a couple
that's
more
no
races.
problem. Right.
Get a little more questions and knowledge on what to ask. Yeah.
I had one other question. We've got a few suggestions on trying to get John Bosek to call in or to try to get some stories from him. How are you related to him?
So he'd be my uncle.
Oh, he would be. Okay. I didn't know if it was you're that close or not.
Yep. So basically, so it'd be Dan and Charlie are my cousins, and then like this, so that's their uncle too. My dad would be Deb's sister, and then John would be my dad's brother.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I know how that works out. So we've had a few suggestions on try to get John Bosek on. Try to get John Bosek to call in. It's like,
yep.
I don't know where to start on who to contact first.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know either on that. I can give you his number and go from there.
Yeah, because I'm sure he'd have a lot of old really good stories.
Yeah, nice stories, stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
Huh, cool. Well, you got anything else for him, Vince? Because we've had him on the phone now for well over an hour.
Oofta.
What a guy.
What a guy.
He's doing it for the people.
This is awesome. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Fresh off of 800 left right to the podcast.
What did Vince say?
I don't know.
I said fresh off of 800 left right to the podcast.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. It's fun for sure.
Yeah, heck yeah. And I was stoked because I knew you followed the page, so I knew you might have listened to the show. And when you said you listened to the show and you enjoyed it, it was like, heck yeah, it'll work really good.
Makes
right.
us
No,
old.
actually,
Sorry.
it works out good for me because like when I'm driving back and forth to the airport, normally I turn it on so I can stay awake and listen to something.
Awesome. Thanks, man. That's cool to hear.
Because all mine is like, a lot of my flights I land at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I get home at like 2 in the morning. It's like, I need something that's going to keep me awake and listen to, enjoy. Like, so snowmobile racing works hands down.
Huh, cool. No, I bet you'll have a lot more people talking to you about IndyCar now at the snowmobile races.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. But, okay. Well, if you don't have anything else for him, Vince, we can let him get back to his Wisconsin hotel room.
Well,
No, that's pretty much all I had that I can think of. Otherwise, I'll just pester him at Road America again.
yeah, that works too.
Nice.
Okay, thanks, Orion. We really appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of your season with what you're going with.
All right. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Vince, are you still there?
I am, yes.
No, that's
Hey,
too
Vince.
bad.
Okay, I was just making
We're going to take time to thank Orion Bosek for calling in, but I want to say congratulations to Vince. My dog.
Hey, thank you.
My dog. Do the thing, Brody.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
They're applauding you right now.
wow. Computer applause. The greatest.
But, okay, so thanks to Orion Bosek for that. that was freaking awesome.
Pretty damn cool.
It was just an idea that I thought, like, man, I wonder if he'd be willing to call in about the Indy 500 just because it was so cool watching it. And yeah, he was a really good interview.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good at talking. I
That was
like that.
perfect.
Yeah.
That was-
And since he listened to the show, I was going to say it made us a little less nervous to talk to him. And you know him, so.
Yep, a little bit. Yep.
I watched him almost die one time at Pine Lake.
What?
Yeah. It was 2 years ago when we got a whole bunch of snow.
Yep.
And the banks were like really high.
Yeah.
And we all took off in semi-pro and you couldn't see a dang thing. Well, we were going down like the first long straight, like towards the back of the lake or whatever. And it's kind of like a slight left-hander into a tight left-hander.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one I'm talking about?
Yep. The sweeper and yep.
Well, anyways, we were all coming along, and I was slowly turning left, so I knew to slow down or whatever. Well, I mashed on the brakes, and then like I seen feet way up in the air. So like I knew I was coming in hot, so I was gonna like touch the outside of the bank, and it was full of snow dust. You couldn't see a dang thing. All I seen was feet.
Yeah.
And then I seen that, and then like so I stopped and rode off the track to make sure the person was all right. Well, everybody else just kept going. I was like, God dang it.
Yeah.
Well, here it was Bosek, and his foot like got caught in the stirrup, and it kind of like drug him a little ways. And then like I ran up to him. I was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Ooh." Like, oh.
This sounds like an axis chassis problem.
That was a Matrix that year. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah, the first year
Okay.
of the Matrix. So
That Axis actually
you
did
should have
pretty
brought
good.
that up.
Yeah, you should have told that story to Kyle.
oh, he'll listen back to it, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's who that is." I think it was him. I think it was ORyan.
Or
I think Anakin was too young.
oh, sure.
His name is Anakin.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Anakin Bozek.
It's a cool name.
So Vince, congratulations. VS3 is now engaged. So roll the claps
Yep.
again, Brody.
Again, eh?
Vince, it's my anniversary tomorrow, so
Is it?
yeah. So that's
Look at you go.
We got 2 years, man. 2 years. Wow,
Wow.
a long time.
Good.
So that was good questions for him too, Vince. So
Oh, I fucking love IndyCar. So
I know
I could talk about that for like 9 hours.
really you're that into it,
Oh yeah, love it.
huh? So yeah,
Was
that's why I
super
figured.
into it as a kid and all that. So, and I kind of grew up around it, I guess, a little bit. My grandpa knew Roger Penske pretty well from helping him with some trucking business stuff.
Hmm.
So we would get like tickets to go to Road America and all that. And yeah,
Huh,
pretty cool.
cool. Yeah, I would have never guessed.
So it is like Penske trucks.
Yep, like the truck
Yep,
rental. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I had second guessed myself about that like maybe a year ago or something.
Yeah.
I looked it up and same guy.
That's cool.
So Vince, you're engaged. You proposed on a mountain bike ride.
I did, yeah.
Oh, one other thing before that story, you got a blown out knee, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I was going to bring that up last one, but yeah, we're out for this winter. That's for sure.
Yeah. How long have you been riding dirt bike now with a blown out ACL, MCL, whatever it was, right?
Oh yeah, ACL, MCL, and meniscus, and it's been 3 years.
See,
Super smart and super tough.
You just keep getting cooler. I'm kind of starting to hate you now.
You're like every Brad Pitt movie is based on you.
So you didn't know your knee was blown out.
Well, so it happened at a hare scramble. Actually, I think it was my second to last AA race that I ever did. It was at Cambridge, and I was going around some lapper, kind of up at the like whatever you call it. It's like along a ridge, basically, in between a field and the woods. And so it's pretty troughed out because it's been used for so many years. And I went to go around like the left side of this lapper, and he moved over. I like stabbed the brakes, and like the front started to go. I almost like Chase Sextoned it, basically.
Yep.
And I put my foot down like on the weird angle ground, also going forward, and I just felt it pop. I'm like, well, that's not good.
Oh.
And I couldn't really move it for like 2 minutes. And so I was just kind of riding around. And like I let a bunch of guys go that had just passed, like lappers and all that. And then all of a sudden it just didn't hurt anymore, and put my foot back on the peg and finished the race. Got like, I think 9th overall. And then like basically couldn't walk for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Especially going up and down stairs. And then it went back to like totally normal. I had full range of motion and everything. So I don't know if I actually blew it completely out then. And then later that year out at Sturgis, it popped again when I was working. And then I think the year after that, I think it was riding dirt bike again, where I put a foot down and it popped. And then it never went back to normal after that. So the only reason I found out is because Hannah wanted me to go to the doctor so she could see if I was dying from like diabetes or something like that. And it turns out I'm not. I'm like, well, I might as well ask about this stupid knee thing and get this process rolling. And yeah, it turns out it's a proper fuck. So.
Huh.
Wow.
So knee surgery in October?
Yeah, that's the plan. After Ironman GNCC, go get that thing cut open and repaired. And then it's like a few weeks on crutches, I think. And then, I don't know, after that, it's usually like 5 or 6 months to like back to 90 to 100%. So I'll be able to ride snowmobile, but not race snowmobile. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to be doing some trail riding.
Heck yeah. Our dad blew his ACL out on a dirt bike. And he strapped his crutches to the back of his F6 to go trail riding. I shit you not. He did. And
yeah, my brother's a PA, so I was talking to him like, hey, is this doctor like an idiot or like whatever? And the one I saw, I have to schedule an appointment with this other guy yet, but he's like, absolutely do not let that guy work on your knee. He still does it like it's the 90s. Like, yeah, that's not what we're going for. So he's got some buddy that lives over here that does a lot of the distribution for like, you know, the medical parts and things like that. And he's like, oh, make sure this guy does it. Like he's the best one at it in the area. So got to get that figured out.
So yeah, they're not going to flay your knee like a fish. Sounds like.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think they do, it's not cadaver parts, but they'll pull muscle from somewhere else and put it in there, basically.
No, that kind of sounds like you're getting flayed.
Well, I mean, a little bit, but
Ryan Spencer's kid just got an ACL fix, and he got I think a cadaver ACL put in.
Okay.
It's like, did you know the guy that you got the ACL from?
Like,
they're donors.
Yeah, that's what a cadaver means.
I don't know what the hell these mean.
You don't know what cadaver means? Dead body? You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Whenever someone says they got a cadaver part in their body, yeah, that's someone else's part.
I don't watch.
Did you check that organ donor box, Kyle, or what?
No, I'm not a donor.
What? You're just going to let children die because you died and are selfish?
Yeah. And I plan on getting buried with all my sleds, my cars, everything.
That's one big ass hole.
It's all about me here, okay? This is my world.
We're just living in it.
No, I did kind of know that cadaver meant that, but I didn't know you could get an ACL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like they salvage those too?
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
So
they do space transplants. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre in real life, but a little bit better quality, I'm sure.
Probably.
That's gross.
So the reason the knee was brought up with the engagement story is because in Hannah's post, she joked that he got down on his at least one good knee.
Yep.
So you're out mountain biking and then just decided you just brought the ring with, or what happened here?
Well, it was a nice day, and I'm like, oh, this could probably be pretty good. And there's one spot at this trail where, like, there's a downhill section, so I can get pretty far in front of her. I'm like, God, it's probably the spot to do it. And even she said, she's like, well, normally he waits for me here. She's like, what the hell? And then she rolled up on me. She's like, what? You're doing this here? I'm like, yep.
Nah. She already knew.
How long has this been planned, Vince?
What, that?
Yeah.
Or the engagement, or how long you had the ring, or?
Oh, I had the ring for a while now.
Oh, really?
Like since you were 13?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a ring pop with some, like, the dazzles on it. So.
My grandma carried this through the Holocaust. Yeah. Happy Memorial Day, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been watching World War II documentaries like all weekend because I've been sick.
Oh, man.
I'm like, God,
That's my go-to when I'm sick, too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I watched some
World War II
sad,
documentaries.
sad, depressing stuff when I'm sick too.
Never
Yeah.
watched one. That, like,
What
when
the
I'm
hell?
sick, I've maybe throw on like an old dirt bike race.
Yeah, I've been doing that too, but like I've just been watching the U.S. fuck up Hitler.
I got really into the World War I stuff one time, and I learned my favorite war statistic ever watching this documentary.
Please tell.
So, like, you know, like World War I was mostly like trench warfare stuff. So, like,
yeah.
the guys would just sit there and get diseased and die while they lobbed cannonballs over hundreds of yards of barbed wire and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would dig these tunnels like way underground to try and put like a bunch of explosives underneath the other guys' trenches and blow them up. And every once in a while, they would be digging these tunnels and literally run into the fucking opposing country and have to fight each other in the dark.
That's what Peaky Blinders.
Like
the clay
in
kickers,
this tunnel. Yeah, like 40 feet under the ground, and they're just stabbing each other with their rifle ends and shovels and shit. Like,
Wow.
Oh yeah,
just
the
the
clay
dumbest
kickers.
thing ever.
That's insane.
America.
Yeah, that's what Memorial Day is all about.
Yeah. Remember those people that were so badass that they were
Fighting
digging
40 feet underground.
Yeah.
But didn't it happen one time, like in the Civil War, where they packed was 40,000 pounds or something of dynamite underneath the Confederate lines, and then they blew it up, and it's like the biggest explosion that ever happened in the U.S.
I don't know about that one. No.
That one was cool, and there's still a big ass hole there, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't remember. I watched one on that too,
Mm-hmm.
on the whole Civil War thing. It was like a freaking 20 episode PBS special, and they're each like an hour and a half long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the good ones. That's when
Yeah.
you really learn shit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So from war to back to Vince's engagement.
Oh no, hold on here. We're still talking about World War I.
We haven't even gotten to
Yeah, there's plenty
Vietnam
more
yet.
wars to go through yet.
Yeah. Vietnam was cool as hell too.
I wouldn't say
There's
cool
not
as
much
hell.
out there on Vietnam or the Cold War or anything like that.
Because
Really.
they did really bad stuff in Vietnam.
And it was all
Well,
for
that's true.
yeah, whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's Memorial Day.
We had a
Keep
really
it.
cool episode here. We do not want to get this demonetized.
It's Memorial Day.
We're talking about
Yeah, we're on par.
Yeah, true. Jocko talks about some pretty dark stuff on his
yeah.
podcast. And
yeah, we're not Jocko though.
I was wondering if we played the national anthem on the podcast,
That
would it be copyrighted?
I wonder if we'd get censored.
No, not censored, just copyrighted. Like whenever we play any music on like our YouTube videos, it gets copyrighted flag and everything. I wonder if the national anthem would.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, Steve Mathis would be pissed, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
The Pulp MX guy.
Why would he be?
He had made a joke about something on like why national anthem had to be played at like all starting of sporting events.
No.
Because he's Canadian, so he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He's a communist.
Yeah, exactly. That was brought up to us that we can't call Canada communism anymore.
Oh.
Why?
I'm gonna say screw that.
Peggy Arlo.
Oh,
Screw that.
Yeah,
she
Peggy.
just doesn't know.
this is
So
America.
they're communism in Canada now.
We do what we want.
I wonder what the Canadians think. Like,
I bet they're agreeing with us.
Like, Kale Ansu, let us know.
Yeah.
How's Canada?
True. Let us know. Is it affecting you at all? Are you
Well,
out in the brush deep
AC,
enough?
Aaron Christensen.
Yeah, Aaron Christensen. How's it going up there?
Let us know. Like, you need a place in the States, we'll get you.
So anyway, Vince is engaged.
Oh, we're still on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Just wanted to get the full story out there because I was curious.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the full story.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I like the Facebook post, but I'm not friends with your old lady, so if she asks, just let her know. Who's this guy?
Okay.
So, that's the smartest man I know. That's my very bestest friend in the whole wide world.
That's the Shop Talk crew.
Well, congrats on that, Vince. That's pretty cool. So, I only got to say hi to Hannah like once at Heydays like 2 years ago, but it was super hot out, so I wasn't very talkative.
Well, now they're engaged, so.
That's right.
Yep.
Forgot we were down there a couple years ago.
Nope. Yep. It was hot.
Yeah.
That's why I hope Heydays is not hot for the Shop Talk podcast this year.
Yeah, I'm just not going to go.
You're going to have to.
No.
You're part of the crew.
That would be
I'll
sweet.
call in.
I'll call it.
I can bitch about it from afar.
There you go.
We need a Chevy Express van there, so.
At least we can get out fast. We can use people for traction.
Yep. I'll paint a big number 3 on the side of it.
There you go.
Yep.
That I've been thinking about it, and then we'll put Good Wrench on the back. It'll be sweet.
Oh, God.
Blue and
Just
yellow?
intimidating talking about it.
Like the blue and yellow color scheme or the all black?
All black.
Oh.
You got to go Intimidator all black.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Iconic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blue and yellow is Wrangler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even wear jeans anymore.
You don't wear jeans?
I guess technically the pants that I buy are from Wrangler, so fuck it, let's go blue and yellow.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be good. We can do that too.
Heck yeah. Vince, did you watch the Indy 500 today? Did you happen to watch any motocross from Saturday?
Yep, just finished that up after the Indy 500. So lots of racing today.
Cool. Heck yeah. It was a good day for it. It was a nice day out.
Yeah.
Oh, it was not.
Was not.
It rained this morning, but then
It was piss pouring this morning.
But then right now the blue sky is.
Oh, yeah, now it looks nice, but when I went on my run, it was just cold and windy. I'm like, why am I running right now?
Well, yeah, it's still just cold and windy here.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to rain, but it's not.
Oh.
It was, but it isn't anymore.
Vince, does Jet Lawrence go undefeated? We think that maybe the only thing that stops him is a weirdo first turn crash.
Yeah. Yeah, the odds are looking pretty good that he goes whatever it is now.
44 no.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he's at 24 right now, right?
Yep, 24. So yeah, right now he's tied James Stewart to his longest stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't catch on what they said Ricky Carmichael's longest streak was.
He had a 30 and a 31.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
consecutive.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah,
No, he did it twice.
Mhm.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
I would have to say that he does it. I mean, he even said that his bike wasn't handling as good, so he wasn't going as fast as he would have liked to have gone too.
Yeah.
Did
He
you
was pretty frustrated.
the moto memes? They're calling it the summer of disrespect. So like, like they said that was a disrespectful statement that he could have even gone faster. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I'd say
it's a for sure thing right now.
I would say so too.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
first turn gets a little hairy.
Yep.
Well, didn't he? Last year he didn't go down, but he didn't have a couple great starts. I mean, they threw that stat up where his average first place position was 1.7 or something.
Yeah,
So,
I wouldn't.
or first lap position. I mean,
I didn't think it was till towards the end of the year last year where he had one bad start where he was maybe 10th through the whole shot line. But I think that was his worst.
yeah, I think it was 7th or 8th or something.
So yeah, he gets really good starts. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate when people say that it's boring to watch him out front because if you're watching him, he's so cool to watch that it's fun to watch on how good he is. Like,
Yeah, it's not like it's not boring to watch him. That's for sure.
no, not at all. And he's just out there cruising, just like 2 seconds ahead of Sexton, 2 seconds ahead of Hunter, and so he's keeping it close. He's not just checking out, but like he's got the speed to where he could easily check out.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about when him and Chase Sexton battled there in Moto2 and they just dropped Hunter? Like Hunter, I think
like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, I think to finish the race out, he was 30 seconds behind him. So
yeah, even what Hayden and Kitchen did that too.
Yep. I was just going to say that.
First moto, I think.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Hayden was looking good.
Wicked.
Kitchen looked really good.
Yeah. I like Deegan after the race. Dropped a couple F-bombs, and then I'm tired of people talking shit.
Yeah.
And it's like they're letting this guy swear on the...
It's because it's Peacock.
Yeah.
It's not as
It's not
even
on
James said
actual
something
TV
about it.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, no, Hayden Deegan looks pretty good. I feel like that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Tom Vial looked pretty good too at the beginning though too. So
Until they left him there like
Yeah.
a piece of parsley on a plate at a truck stop diner.
Yep. Very well put. Yes. But no, Kitchen was 2 seconds behind him at the end of the race, and then third place was 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
or like to add to the summer of disrespect during the qualifying sessions, Levi Kitchen just puts down a heater the very last lap in qualifying, pulls a tear off and pulls right up to the podium because he knew he was number one qualifier without even looking at the board.
Yeah.
And Joey Savacci is sitting right there waiting to go on the podium because he was in number one position until the very last lap. So it's like the summer of disrespect.
Yep.
I like the drama. I love it.
Yep.
Well, and Hayden Deegan was talking shit about Kitchen that he gets tired. You guys, they were talking about that when I was watching.
they were just putting that on his pit board.
Yeah,
that,
but like Kitchen saw it, or like he knew
that
they're
they're trying to
playing mind games with him and stuff. Yeah.
But no, Deegan didn't actually say that.
No. Well, okay.
They were just putting that on the pit board, like trying to get in Kitchen's head.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, okay, Vince. Well, what?
I got one thing to talk to Vince about.
Okay.
The Upgrade movie that you told me to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally watched it last night, and thank you for that. That is easily in my top
good,
10 of
isn't
movies.
Yeah, it was freaking good.
That movie is so cyberpunk. It is the most cyberpunk thing I've ever watched. It is awesome. It is so cool. Thank you for telling me about that. I'm surprised I'd never watched that movie until now. Yeah, it was awesome though. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah,
if you like
I was
cyberpunk.
surprised, like the preview was kind of odd, and then the rest of the movie though, it was really good.
Yeah, everything about it. It's got John Wick level combat scenes in it. It's super original, super cyberpunk. It's freaking awesome, and like one of the most best AI movies, or like AI plots and AI take. It's awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
All right. Heck yeah. Vince, I rode the Nighthawk 250 to the studio tonight.
Did you?
Yep. So me and you are
How
gonna have
fast did it go?
It goes like 77 miles an hour, I think.
Huh. We'll have to get you in the drafts and see if we can push 80.
But it cruises nice at like 65, so it got no problem going
Do you
down.
think if you took the windshield off and then like laid down on it?
No,
get
the
any
windshield helps a lot.
Yeah, it'd be 100% worse.
Yeah, like try doing that on your sled.
Yeah.
The windshield helps.
Yeah.
Like
I think you're
that one
pushing
just-
a big thing of air, but it's just it's not good. That's not how speed and aromatics work. Just like Mater says.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Rear view mirrors.
Yeah.
Mater says that.
Yeah.
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, Brody
I
didn't
watched that
understand.
racing documentary too.
I just checked if Kyle had his Cars Crocs on, and he doesn't. So
No, I came from
my favorite line from Cars is when the doc is telling him, if you find yourself going fast enough, turn into the left, you'll be turned into the right.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like,
You have to turn right, turn left.
yep.
My favorite line is, "You did
What do you
what in your
believe?
cup?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a piston cup.
That's
You
that's
did what
my-
in your
yeah,
cup?
Easily my favorite line
Oh, yeah.
too.
We've gone off the rails.
Oh yeah.
It's all right.
No. So short course stuff. More short course in the future for Vince. Or are you done with short
Yeah,
course?
I really don't even know what I got going on this week.
Oh.
All the Baja shocks are out because it's pretty much everybody's down there pre-running because that's how stupid of a race that is. You get to figure out the whole race course before you go race it.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's how most people win Baja, is by pre-running for weeks and cheating and giving farmers money to close gates behind them.
What? They
Except
do
for
that?
like a few guys. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of dumb shit that happens. It's a little better now with the virtual checkpoint stuff, but
Mhm.
there's a lot of weird dumb shit that happens. Like there'll be guys that are like, I passed this dude like 5 times, but I never saw him pass me because they
What?
just have these weird lines. Yeah,
Wow.
it's not like a specifically marked course. It's pretty open to interpretation. So
Weird.
yeah, I don't know. It's Mexico. They
Yeah.
can't even make tacos right. That's why we have Taco Bell. So
Yeah, and they're a captive state by the cartels. So, yeah.
They can work like a son of a bitch, though.
True. Yeah.
doesn't mean it's any good, but
Oh man, I thought I had one more thing, but
Would you consider Mexico communist?
No, it's a captive state by the cartels. It's
yeah, it's a drug state.
yeah.
All
Like
right.
to like all the levels, like the whole government, everything is
is owned by the cartel.
yeah, it's a
Sure.
We're
captive
pretty
country.
far off of snowmobiles right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very far.
We're in the deep south right now.
No, Polaris makes snowmobiles, and Polaris has a plant in Mexico, so we're on course.
But their engine is called the Patriot, so we're still in the clear.
Team Industries has a place in Mexico too.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so does BRP.
Yeah,
'Cause
Can-Am.
my Can-Am side-by-side came from Mexico.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep,
Everybody's doing it.
Yep.
pretty much.
I think I want to say it's like they get like $14 a week or something.
That's about what it is at Arctic, ain't it?
In America? I don't think so.
Oh, I talked to Derek Coletti at Jesse Hallstrom's graduation party. He said the CEO of Textron was flying into Arctic Thief River to be there on Tuesday.
Huh.
He said it was a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah, I bet.
everybody's
finally
fired.
shutting the place
Get the
down.
hell out.
Well, everybody's laid off there right now. Like a lot.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, a lot of people are laid off right now, like assembly line stuff and whatnot. I think too. So
Gee.
Derek said it was a big deal that guy was coming up there. They didn't know why.
Huh.
So breaking news.
Maybe breaking news, yeah. Breaking news coming.
Yeah.
Sorry, Derek.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Vince, if you're planning on coming up here for the Polaris 70th anniversary, I was talking to Luke Van Lysel, and he was talking to Dan Revering about maybe coming up here to ride dirt bike. And so that weekend,
I do like dirt bikes.
that weekend of the anniversary, there is no Brooks race. So we should be able to go ride at Brooks that weekend
That'll be fun.
if you're available.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. There's like 3 or 4 different damn things we could do that weekend.
Oh,
So we got to kind of figure out what is actually going to happen. But I'll let you know. I'd like to go up there for at least a day and see what's going on. So
yeah. So So I was gonna try to maybe put something out there. If any other snowmobilers that ride dirt bike are coming up here for that, we should try to all maybe get together and ride dirt bike one day.
Like Friday at Brooks or something.
Friday or Saturday or Sunday or something, because Johnny would work with us probably to be able to let us all, if we had a big group of us, let us ride whatever day, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, Vince, did you get them stickers I sent you?
I did, yes. Thank you.
Did you put them on anything?
Yeah, I said in the group chat that I was excited to finally get my Shop Talk podcast pasties. So
That's right.
Hey, we don't have a VS3 sticker on here.
No, we don't.
yeah, I could send you some now that I have a bunch from the suspension guy.
Do you have
Or my
pasties?
graphics guy. Yep, that's all I make anymore.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, we could definitely slap one on the table.
well,
kind
like
of a
literally,
part of our show. So.
Yeah.
well, like literally right now, as Vince is on the phone with us, like right here in the corner of the screen, there's a big VS3 logo.
Yeah. Well,
Right
Is
here.
it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch the show at all, I put your logo on there every time.
I normally just listen.
No.
yeah.
I know.
I just listen.
I listen too, but like you'd be surprised on how many people watch on YouTube and watch on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I like watching podcasts.
I'll watch some sometimes when I have the time.
Mm-hmm.
But-
Yeah, you got to have the time. You almost got to like.
ever watch.
I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to watch because sometimes
I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try that this time. I'll watch it on YouTube, but it's hard. Like when I'm at work.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No,
Well,
you
maybe this week I can do it. Don't really have much to do, so I'll just watch podcasts all week.
you almost got to treat it like you're watching a movie because they're so long,
Yeah.
and you just got to sit
yeah.
down. Get some food. You're just along for the conversation.
Have you had time to dabble into that box of parts that I gave you?
No, not yet. I just moved it the other day.
Okay,
I opened it and I'm like, and then I closed it and I put it back in a different spot. So.
you're like,
I have
okay.
another one from another guy now too.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kyle Carpenter. He's got I think it's out of his ZR440.
Oh.
But I have his full set of shocks that just need some going through.
Oh, I see.
He's not doing cool shit yet.
Sure. Okay,
So.
as long as you still have it, you know where it is.
Oh yeah, I got her, and I know where it is.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Cool.
We got a few months to winter yet, so
Yeah. Heck yeah. But then if that works and you know what you're doing with that one, then we had talked about that other prototype one.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Just to make sure we're all on the same page here.
It's an adjustable
Yeah,
front
don't
arm
worry.
shock, ain't it?
No.
Secrets.
We'll figure it out.
Secrets, man.
No.
I got one of those to send to you, Vince.
No,
Come on.
No.
as long as it's not a cross link.
It still works.
Next time ALR asks you something in the group chat, just say no.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's what you didn't get a kick out of what I sent you on TikTok the other night. You're like, you're gonna start getting more RPM out of your two-stroke, and I just said no.
Oh yeah. Because you kept going kind of back and forth to, oh man, maybe I should get a 4-stroke.
Yeah, I was like, 450 would be sweet to just power over everything.
Yeah.
But then I see all these two-stroke videos. I'm like, no.
That's what it was.
I know.
It was a Carson Brown video you
Yeah,
sent me.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
this is way cooler.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I know. I think about it. You sent that to me too or something, didn't you, Kyle, or in the group? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was one of them. I either sent it to both you guys or the group.
I do wish I had a YZ 125 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like not to ride all the time, but just to bring up there and like maybe just do one moto on it
And just rod the piss out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
and then get back on my lazy 450.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much everything I ride, and then I get back on the 450. I'm like, damn it, I don't really want to like this, but I really like this.
Yeah, like, this is awesome. It has so much power.
Yeah.
Like I should have a YZ 250 and not be such a piece of shit, but here I am.
Huh. Well, okay, Vince.
Yep.
Well, we'll let you go.
Okay.
Good luck this week.
We're at almost 2 hours right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been on for just about an hour. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, hour with O'Ryan. I was going to say O'Brien, but I'm like, that's not his name.
Yeah, he's not a late night talk show host. So
O'Brien.
Yeah.
Conan.
Conan. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got it.
This is a good
O'Brien.
joke.
Yep.
There's also a lot of O'Briens that live around here too.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
But all right, Vince. God bless the USA. God bless our troops.
And gentlemen. Is that where you're bringing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every one of them should be like that.
That's a
But
drop.
no, we get just the
Yeah, that's what we should
dumbest
get on.
person.
That's
Yeah.
the future drop. There we go.
Sure.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, Vince.
Jeez,
All
Brody,
right,
just
talk to you guys later now.
kicking you out of here, Brody.
Well, God, we've been dragging this on for 4 minutes now.
we just said last night. We just said last night at the fire. It's a Minnesota goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes 17 minutes to get out the door. It's like, no, just walk out the door. You don't have to stand in the entryway for 17 minutes. We're leaving. And then bye. Yeah,
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. We'll talk to you later,
Congratulations,
Vince.
Vince.
All right. See ya.
All right, bye now.
Bye.
See ya. The Minnesota goodbye is definitely a thing.
It's a real
It's a
thing,
real
for
fucking
sure,
thing.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, have I said enough goodbyes to where
Yeah.
I can leave now?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Lately, I've just been leaving,
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
You just got to leave.
Yeah.
That's what,
but not with like you guys or anything. But
Yeah.
like at events and stuff,
Yeah.
just leave.
yep, you
Like-
just got to leave.
What most people don't know probably is like some of our longer interviews we've had in here, like with Brian, Wes, and Chad. Like we'll shut the camera off.
Oh, then the real.
And then I bet you we've talked to those three guys. We've talked in here for a whole nother hour
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, we should have kept going. But that's kind of the Minnesota goodbye. We just kept telling more and more stories.
Yeah. Then there's more discrepancy in these stories afterwards too.
But like when Ben Yort was here, you guys stayed for another 3 hours.
No, it was about an hour.
No, I was going to say, I stayed for about an hour. They were here for 2 hours longer.
There, maybe another hour.
Oh.
Maybe another hour.
We got into some deep conversations.
Yeah, we were
You
just
get
sitting.
lost.
We were just sitting in the
Yeah.
entryway, bullshitting.
You get lost in these conversations.
It is pretty cool that we get to do this every week.
Yeah.
Like, it is cool.
Oh yeah, it's
Like,
I think it's fun.
Yeah, somebody on Joe Rogan just said it's just dudes being dudes.
Well, yeah, and that's what it. Yeah, that's what it is, and that's what it should stay like.
Shout
Just-
out Mandy and Katie for letting us do this.
Happy anniversary, Katie.
Yeah, happy anniversary. 2 years.
You were there.
I was at that wedding. It was fun.
Right before I came here, Mandy beat me at cornhole.
Yeah.
I was leading 4-0. We play one game of cornhole a night, just in the evening, and I've been leading 4-0. But tonight I went over 21 twice, and she beat me.
That happens.
I was mad driving here. I was low key mad. I was trying to go undefeated.
I still haven't gotten to play this year yet.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
Oh,
this
yeah.
week's episode was supposed to be Beer
Yeah.
Olympics.
Totally forgot about that. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be Beer Olympics. Didn't happen.
Canceled.
Canceled.
It was only you three. It was only 3 teams registered.
Only
right?
3 teams. Yep.
We still could have competed. I would have been sick as hell, but
That would have been cool, like some one-on-one between is you and Brody, Regan and Lewis, and
Eric Bergman,
and
and
Ben
then
and Benjamin.
yeah,
we could all shotgun beers till we pass out.
the last one standing wins.
Yeah.
Funny story about Benjamin, who we talked about before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've brought up Ben Silberg before.
We were working up in Argyle, and we were all at this campsite, and all those guys were drinking and everything, and it had gotten pretty far into the night. So those guys started talking about smashing beer cans on their head. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, it was Benjamin and Hunter Gubrud from Bagley, and Hunter's like, I don't know how hard to do it, and just bam, 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 couldn't get it to break, and then Benjamin just one hit, just boom, and I'd never seen a beer can explode as big as he had hit it on his head. It was just one swing, just boom.
And yeah, there's nothing to drink out of the can.
No,
the can
there
is
was
absolute
absolutely
shrapnel.
No beer
Yeah.
left. And Kenny Dalkey, my op one at the time, he laughed so hard at that. It was just his laugh about watching Benjamin do that was almost as funny as the thing
Wyatt Gerloff did it one time. He couldn't break it on his head, so he was like, wham, 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 wham. And as fast as he was hitting it on his head, he just bit it. It exploded.
No, yeah. If you see Ben Solberg, ask him to do that because it was
Break one over his head.
Oh my God, it was like Mach 3 to his head, and just poof.
The last time I did that, yeah, it blew up in my hand.
Yeah.
I've done it once where it was cool and it was a good enough pop, but there was still enough to pour on my face to make it look even cooler. But yeah.
It's not cool.
Oh, it's cool.
I think it's cool as hell.
I had people talk because it was on Snapchat the first time I did it, and then at the bar, people were like, "Was that you in that Snapchat video with the beer? That was cool."
That's what we're gonna do after we cut the camera.
Just start smashing beers.
Episode 50 you can pop one out and do it.
Oh yeah, episode 50 is gonna be wild.
Yeah. Imagine
on?
100.
Oof.
Yeah. Brady said he wanted to be on 77 because that's his number. But I think we might be getting close to that come winter time.
I don't know, man. There's only 52 weeks in a year, so.
Well, we'll be coming up close in September. Will be 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get to 52, we won't be at 52 by the time Heydays comes around.
No.
But we
Maybe in March. That's about 177. Right?
I don't know. But like for Heydays, we'll probably have like 3 shows out of Heydays if we do our
yeah, true.
One show during the day and one show during the evening, and then the recap.
The recap, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode 50, I want to make it big.
All right.
Yeah. Or just making it big is bringing cigars.
Zoom in. I mean,
I know. I've thought of that, of like maybe doing a 2-camera setup.
oh yeah.
See, we've talked about that.
But then
That's hard.
it'd be a little bit harder.
Yeah. I would have to be switching them. We would have to bring in a laptop.
Well, no, like I would just do it while I'm editing.
Oh, you would do it
Like,
pre or post?
If
Yeah.
you guys are talking a lot and then pointed at you, but then to shoot it back at me for just 10 seconds, and I don't know if it'd be worth it or not.
I don't know.
But do we have a lot of people that watch it?
Well,
know,
you
man.
just
If
brought that up.
Well, if it's worth it to. Oh, Kyle, hot take. Do you
Hot
got
take
any,
of this week?
yeah, do you got any hot takes? So Kyle had the idea of hot takes, and they've what?
He laughed.
Oh, I thought
It's just funny that Kyle had the idea of hot takes. It's like, hot takes is a known idea.
for our show though.
Yeah.
For our show.
Yeah, we could do hot takes. Joe Biden, what the fuck? As soon as I said it, he's like, no.
No, I'm assuming you want it to be snowmobile related for.
No, I don't care about that. It's just that when you start doing stuff like that, it's weird on how YouTube and Facebook would work on how we would start to get
As soon
demonetized.
as you said it.
Well, I got a hot take. How about movie theater etiquette? God damn.
Well, so the last 2 hot takes, over 40,000 views on TikTok.
Yeah. And a lot of, what were a lot of people saying that the third worst chassis was?
A lot of Skidoo 1000.
Yeah,
Like
the 1000.
SDI 1000.
Yeah.
A lot of those. And a lot of people did not agree with the Edge chassis one
Yeah, for a trail sled.
for a trail sled, which I commented a few that we were talking about like in racing, because every person that's talked about it in racing says it's terrible. But like saying that, it was so funny on the people that would come out of the woodworks. They're like, I got 10,000 miles on my Polaris 800 and I've changed 1 belt. It's like, sure, bud. Sure.
Yeah,
Or-
I mean, there's
or the-
probably fucking moisture in the chain case too, and it freezes every time they go to ride.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Or the few Arctic Cat 1100 turbo people. I've never blown a belt before. It's like, I've been with my buddies and they've lasted 100 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, a few of the comments were pretty good.
I can't come up with a hot take right now,
We don't need one every episode.
No, I was just.
but we can.
We could if you wanted to.
But we'll
if
get
we're
it.
getting 20,000 views per hot take, just throw it out there.
Start writing them down.
Yeah, I'll have to start writing them down because usually when I'm like thinking,
Yeah.
that's when I'll come up with good ones, and then like I don't remember them.
Yeah, you got to write them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say I could go through the comments right now and just start calling people out.
Yeah.
I really gotta go right now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We'll shut her down. Sounds good. Anyway.
Okay. Episode 33.
Yep.
Thanks to ORyan Bosek for the IndyCar class.
Yep. That was cool.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. Sugarcane tires. Gonna have to look it up.
Who knew?
Yeah. And Merry Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks
for watching,
Yep.
listening.
Next weekend, Brandon Green, AMA Pro Motocross
Hell yeah.
Racer.
That'll be a good one too.
In studio.
In studio. Awesome.
That's the plan as right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
thans.
See ya.
God bless you.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.